The Perfect Weapon. Oh, nice. We watched the 1991 movie The Perfect Weapon. The last 1 hour 37 minutes. Jeff Speakman as Jeff. Let's get into it. So the movie opens with an unnecessary shot of a man. He's finishing up a construction site, goes home and starts practicing Kenpo, a martial art. Topless in his apartment, all sweaty and shiny. That at least is to the song, I've got the power. We cut to a store in LA. Kim Kwan, the owner, Mr. Kwan, is being hassled by some thugs. And they're saying, listen, old man, you better pay us for protection or you'll be in trouble. We want you to sell drugs for us or you'll be in trouble. Just then his phone rings and it's Jeff, because Jeff knows him. You'll find out how. Jeff phones him and he says, listen, how you doing? He's just calling for a chat, I think. But he hears these thugs smashing up Kim's store. So he instantly puts down the phone and he gets in his car and he drives to Kim's shop. From Santa Fe. 14 hours away. I guess he's happy enough with a long drive. But that long drive gives us enough time for a flashback. Flashback! So I see Jeff as a kid and his dad is speaking to Kin. Now, they're in the living room. Jeff and his little brother Adam are listening in, and they can hear their dad saying, I'm gonna send Jeff to military school because he's so dad-centered. I can't control him. He's terrible at school. He's so badly behaved. That Kin says, listen, take him to another school, take him to this martial arts school. It's Kento. But listen, while we're watching this scene, there's a massive gap in their banister. So anyway, young Jeff goes to this Kenpo class and he's learning the ways. He befriends this young lady named Jennifer and he gets stuck in. He really loves it. He finds discipline there, he finds structure, he finds his way. And then we see him as a teenager and he's progressed to brown belt. I think he might be black belt by that point. I don't remember either. But he's doing well. And then we see Jeff and Adam at high school. A bunch of football players are giving him a hard time because Jeff is a pole vaulter and these football guys are like, oh, that's a sissy sport and all this. Jeff tries to walk away, but Adam mouths off and Adam gets smacked in the face.
Smack, smack, sugar, smack.
So Jeff squares up to this football player and almost kills him. He kicks his head off. His dad says, enough is enough. Even though you've been fine for the last 7 years, this one instant has made me think, I don't want you in my house anymore. So he kicks him out. Jeff goes to see his Kenpo teacher, and Kim, the Kenpo teacher, gives him a ring, which on one side has got a dragon, on the other side has got a tiger, and he says, this ring will always guide you. That must be so uncomfortable to wear. Whatever way around, you get something sticking into your hand. But he leaves town. Kim says, if there's anything I can ever do for you, don't hesitate to call. Except give you somewhere to sleep. Bye. Back to present day. Jeff arrives at Kim's store just in time to beat up a bunch of thugs. Have they been smashing up the store for 14 hours? I don't know. But Jeff beats them up handily. It's actually, the martial arts in this movie are really cool. It's a great fight. He's really good neither. He's a big guy, so you don't expect him to be that athletic. That is really good. So it turns out these bad guys, they're Korean mafia, they're called. And Jenny, who is Kin's grandson, says, listen, you're a fool, you're going to get beaten up. You better get out of town. And Jeff says, nope, I'll stick around. Later, we cut to a warehouse where the bad guys are hanging out. The ones who had been beaten up by Jeff are sitting playing cards or trying to recuperate. And then this big giant guy comes in called Tanaka. And he takes a little flower out of his... Is it an orchid? It might be an orchid, I don't know. That he takes out of his jacket and he puts it in his buttonhole. And the guys sitting at the table are like, uh-oh. They know that means someone's going to die. So he comes up and so the big guy grabs the first one who tries to run away and kills him. And then he goes to Kin's store at night, goes into Kin's bedroom upstairs and kills him too. Jeff might have been able to stop this, but he was too busy going outside and looking across the road at the Kenpo store. He sees Jennifer all grown up, and he sees the Kenpo teacher who hasn't changed a bit. And they both look across at him and just stare at him, and that's the end of that scene. They just all look at each other for a minute. And then Jeff goes back inside and he finds Kim dead. So Jeff is furious. He tries to chase the bad guy, but Tanaka gets in the car and drives off too quickly. Jeff's like, I'm so angry. And then these guys try to mug Jeff. Yeah, so he quickly beats the nut. Like, viciously. The next day we see the cops investigating the murder scene where Kim was killed. Jeff's still there, and the lead detective just happens to be Adam, Jeff's younger brother, who's all grown up. Jeff's not interested in reconciling with any of his family. He goes out looking for a guy with a spider tattoo, because that was one of the guys he beat up in the store, and he thinks that person can lead him to Kim's killer. Yeah. So he goes into this martial arts class where all these dudes are training, and he goes to this guy and says, hey, do you know this guy with a spider tattoo? And the guy says, yep. And he says, great, where is he? And the guy says, get out of here. So Jeff instantly says, I bet I can beat the three of you up. And if I can, you'll give me information. They're like, okay, whatever you say. And they start to fight. He beats them up, he gets information. One of the guys tells Jeff the Korean Mafia all hang out at the Crocodile Club. Oh, that sounds nice. We see Kim's funeral. Jeff is there, Adam is there, and their dad is there. Adam speaks to his dad, Adam speaks to Jeff, but their dad blanks Jeff completely. Won't even say hello to him. Nope. What a grunty man. That night, Jeff goes to the Crocodile Club. There are no crocodiles. I'm very disappointed.
It's no crocs.
Well, he goes in and it's all Korean people, and he instantly starts beating people up. He thinks he looks like a gangster. Let's attack him. And he's beating all these people up. And then Tanaka appears and knocks Jeff out. And he's going to kill him right there in the dance floor. But then a mysterious shadowy figure says, no, take him outside. Don't kill him. Yeah, it's a good job he's there. Thank you, mysterious shadowy figure. The next day there's a brief catch up with Jeff and Jennifer. And after this, Jeff is walking along and he's approached by a Korean gentleman who says, listen, I was a friend of Kim's. I know that one of the mafia fathers has given the order to kill Kim. I'll help you find out who it was. My name is Young. I also happen to be one of the godfathers. But don't worry, I was best friends with Kim. Come into my limousine, I'll tell you all about it. Young points out a guy across the street and says, see that guy? Go and question that guy, he knows all about it. So Jeff goes across the road and beats this guy up. And he says, who ordered the hit on Kim? Yeah, and the guy says, it's Osam. So Jeff goes back in the limo and he says, it's Osam. And Young says, oh no, you can't go after him, he's too dangerous. Yeah, but Jeff says, I need my revenge. So he sneaks into Osam's apartment. He does this crazy, climbs up a building, on top of an elevator, beats up a bunch of guys, goes in, he's just about to kill Osam, when suddenly Jenny appears, Kim's grandson. Yeah, and he says, Osam and Kim were great friends. Who sent you here? And Jeff mentions the name Young, and everyone says, oh, of course, Young is the one who ordered the hit on Kim. It's a double cross. Young wanted Osam taken out, but he couldn't do it himself. He knew an outsider could get away with it. Sneaky. That guy who Young said, go beat him up for information, he is actually Young's right-hand man. So Jeff says, right, I'm going to go and find Young. Jimmy says, I'm coming with you. I know where to find him. And Jeff says, okay, 12-year-old, let's go. Jeff speaks to Adam and he says, listen, we know who killed Kim, but he doesn't really want him arrested. He says, if we get Tanaka out of the way, then Young will be left in the back of his limousine alone, and I'll go in and I'll take him out. Yeah, so they use Adam and they say, that's him up ahead. And it's Tanaka driving. They try to pull him over, but he gives them a crazy chase, and there's a big car chase, smashing through all these cars, and it culminates with Tanaka's car rolling over onto its side. The Tanaka just steps out. Two cops holding at gunpoint, he just knocks them out instantly, and then Adam and another cop say, listen, stop, freeze, and they pull out tasers, and they tase the guy. But it takes a couple of goes, because he's a big guy, and eventually though, they tase him into unconsciousness. While this is all going on, Jeff jumps into the back of the limousine. Young isn't there. Nope, that was all for nothing. So we see Tanaka smashing his way out of the police car. He basically leaves Adam and the other cop for dead. Later that night, Jeff meets Jennifer again. They're about to kiss.
Kiss?
Finally. Yeah, but then someone starts shooting at them. Jennifer says, I'll see you later. We see Jimmy. He's up in the rafter of a building, listening to Young's right-hand man speaking to someone, and he finds out Young is actually at the dockyards. That's where his warehouse is, that's where his hideout is, that's where all his nefarious business goes on. Yeah, so he tells Jeff, and Jeff says, right, I'll go and get him. See you later, Jenny. So Jeff heads home, and he gets tooled up. He grabs every weapon you can imagine. I don't know if he drove back to Santa Fe, or if he just dropped them with him to Los Angeles. That night, he uses his old pole vaulting skills to jump over the fence at the dockyards. The security guy's like, what the? And then Jeff just knocks him out. And then Jeff goes in sneaking around. Yeah, and there's all these bad guys. Well, no, there's all these guys doing their job. It's just regular guys, just moving boxes and doing warehouse stuff. Yeah, that's true actually, yeah. Yeah, and Jeff beats them up and almost kills them all. What a hero. Young hears the commotion, and he's sitting with his little right-hand man, and he says to his right-hand man, I hope he comes for me, because he reveals he's got blades hidden in his sleeves. Like Assassin's Creed. It's pretty cool. So Jeff fights his way to Young. So Jeff just beats up the bodyguard, his right-hand man. They have quite a good fight. He's a good fighter, this guy. Yeah, they're both good martial artists. Then he gets Young, and he's about to take Young out, and then he says, you're not worth it. It's one of those scenarios. He turns his back on Young, and Young brings out the blades from his sleeves and stabs Jeff in the back. Yeah, that Jeff has got his kendo sticks, and they have taken the blow. He takes his jacket off and reveals the sticks. And then he knocks Young onto a table. It looks like he's killed him. That, before we can see anything, Tatanka shows up in a little boat, and he's like, right, me and you're gonna fight. He takes out his little flower and puts it in his jacket, meaning he's gonna kill Jeff, and then he and Jeff have a big fight. There are chains, there are kicks, there are knives, there are hooks, there are all sorts. It's pretty good. Every time Jeff hits Tatanka, it's doing nothing. He's too big, he's too powerful, he's too strong. Jeff cannot hurt him. Eventually Tatanka takes off his belt, which turns out it's actually a strap with a dagger on the end. Yeah, and he's swinging it out and he's trying to kill Jeff. He throws at Jeff, it cuts Jeff's arm, but it sticks in the wall next to Jeff. So Jeff pulls it from the wall, swings it around and throws it at Tatanka. It misses Tatanka, yeah, it hits what's next to Tatanka, an acid gas tank. And Tatanka's like, ha ha ha, you missed. And he peels it out, and gas starts to spray in his face, but he doesn't care. He starts swinging around the belt. Jeff quickly leaps out of the way, takes out a little bit of metal that's lying around, throws it at the gas tank, and it causes a spark and explodes the gas. Yeah, and Tatanka's entire head goes on fire for about 10 seconds. Yeah, then eventually the whole thing explodes, and Tatanka is dust. After this, the cops show up. Yeah, all of them, every cop in America, I think, led by Jeff's dad and Jenny. We see Jeff is holding something over his shoulders. It's a big blanket. Inside the big blanket is Young, ready to face justice. Jenny says, why didn't you kill him? And Jeff doesn't answer. He just looks at him. And his dad's like... After this, Jeff goes back to the Kenpo school. He embraces Jennifer. He sees his old master. Jennifer leaves him to it. The master and Jeff bow to each other. I've got the power starts playing up again. And that's the end. It's fun. It's definitely fun. The acting's something else. You're not impressed? Not great. Martial arts though, really good. Really, this guy, Jeff Steakton. I'm surprised I've not seen him in more things because he's really good. It's weird how he never done much else. Yeah, anyway, hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.